Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back for episode 2 of Feed the Beast Infinity for Minecraft 1.10. Last episode we tried to set up some basic ore doubling with the grinder from Neotech and a regular vanilla furnace and a solar panel from the Solar Flux mod with a furnace upgrade, allowing it to actually power the furnace without the need for any fuel. Now unfortunately at the end of last episode, the Neotech grinder actually crashed my world save and I had to remove the mod in order to get the world working again, and unfortunately I haven't been able to fix that. I've tried putting it back in and I've tried using it again in other world saves, and the mod as a whole seems to be a little bit buggy right now. That might be a running theme throughout the course of this series. It is like really early stages of 1.10. A couple of mods, especially some of the newer ones, might be a little bit buggy, and so today what we're going to start by working on is first of all moving all of our stuff from over here into the new base, because like I said at the end of last episode, what I've been doing since then is building this new base over here, which is a little bit nicer. It's not the best thing in the world. It's basically a wooden box, but essentially what I've done is I've just built like a little nice upstairs room here. If you're wondering what these blocks are, these are from Chisel. I'll show you how you make those when we get back to all of our stuff in like the temp house over there. And then down here, we've got another room. For any of you who watched my original Feed the Beast Infinity Let's Play for Minecraft 1.7, this base setup will look pretty similar. I'm not too happy with this room down here. Like I say, it looks really similar to the old Feed the Beast Infinity series, and so what I think I'm going to end up doing is kind of revamping this room down here to be more of a circular hub room, and then have other rooms and other like areas coming off of that. We are kind of on the precipice, or like on the edge of a mountainous bit, so I might even go like quite far back and like up a bit and maybe have some stuff back there in the mountains, possibly. We'll see in the future, but for now, the first thing I want to work on in today's episode is moving all of our stuff from over there into here, and we're going to start by using the chest transposers from the chest transposer mod, which allow us to move those chests with all of their contents inside of them, instead of having to break the chests up and pick up all the stuff, carry it all over to the other house, put the chest down, try and load it all back in, and doing all that stuff. Instead, what we can do is we can grab one of these chest transposers, and you can get a wooden, iron, gold, and diamond chest transposer. I assume that those transposers correlate to the iron chest mod chests. I'm not quite sure if the iron chest transposer does anything if you don't have that iron chest mod installed, but I'm not quite sure. For now though, we're going to use the basic ones here, which are really easy to make. It is just 6 sticks. So if we come over here, between episodes I did do some more mining. I've got a bit more wood, a lot more cobblestone, a few more tools, and then this chest down here is all of the stuff that I got down in the mines. Quite a bit more iron, copper, and tin. I tried to vary it up a little bit. You'll find a lot more redstone, a surprising number of emeralds, and things like silver right down at around level 12, and then all of the copper and tin is only found like really above Y level 40, maybe 50, and so I tried to spend like an even number of time going really far down and then bringing it back up and doing a little bit more mining kind of nearer to the surface, but that is beside the point. For now, let's grab some wood and let's quickly turn that into some planks. Let's grab some sticks, and then let's turn all of those sticks, I say all of those sticks, let's grab I guess 4 of these chest transposers. I'm gonna assume that we can carry more than one of these at once. So if I do something like this, it does give you slowness, and it also gives you mining fatigue, jump boost, and hunger. Why do we get jump boost? What is that about? Is that just so we can jump at all? But we'll take all of these. I don't think that having more than one makes you any slower. Let's see, mining fatigue. We've got mining fatigue 4. If I drop one of these, does that go down? It doesn't. So no matter how many of these you carry, you don't get any slower. So, oh my goodness, this is... What is this? I can't do it. I can't. Okay, here we go. What I'm going to do, we're going to throw all of those up there. And then when that's done, we're going to jump up. Here we go. Okay, so apparently you cannot jump with these. So if you're going to try and use these, maybe have like an extra jump boost potion, or maybe invest in some stairs beforehand. But now that we're over here, let's go ahead and just throw all these back down. They are single use, so they do break after the first use there, which actually makes me think that these ones maybe have a little bit more durability. Possibly. I haven't tested them. They might have more durability, or they might just be designed to work with the iron chest mod. I'm not too sure. Did that work out as I intended? It did not. I was kind of hoping to get the chests back in the right order, but that is fine. We can just quickly grab all of this stuff here and throw it all over into this chest, like so. Nice. So, I talked about the chisel blocks earlier, these ones down here. The way you make those is with the chisel from the chisel mod. This thing is super easy to make. It's one stick and one piece of iron, and then essentially, all you do is you stick a block into the chisel. In this example, I'm going to use cobblestone, and then you can pull out the block that you want. I used this one for most of the base here. It's used around the edge of the floor, the whole of the roof, and then for the archways to the entrances of this like lower area here. And then I've also got some chiseled stone here and here. This is normal stone put through the chisel, not cobblestone. So you just need to smelt the cobblestone and then put it through the chisel in order to get that stuff. But enough of that. What I want to work on now, first of all, I would like to not die. I do have some beef over in the furnace. Oh, okay. That's fine. We should probably turn mob griefing off at some point. We got the achievement Flower Child. I would like to not die to this guy. You can see he is wearing armor, which is not the best. Let us... I bet I can't sleep, can I? No, there are monsters nearby. Okay. Instead, let's go ahead. Let's take all this stuff down. We'll grab that. I do have some beef in here. Or some steak, I should say. Let's go ahead and eat that. And what I want to work on in today's episode is getting an actual audibling system up and running. Because right now, our audibling system doesn't really exist. It's just a furnace that can smelt stuff without the need for fuel. And the way I'm going to do that is with a little bit of Industrial Craft 2. Now, the reason why I chose Industrial Craft 2 over Ender.io or Mechanism, those are kind of the other two big tech mods that we could have used for early game audibling, is mostly for diversity's sake, because we're going to be using a lot of Ender.io later on in the series. And can I sleep here? I can. Beautiful. We're going to be doing quite a bit of Ender.io towards the mid-game. There are a bunch of cool things in Ender.io, and we'll probably end up using that mod for all of the item conduits, fluid conduits, power conduits, and some of the cool stuff that the mod includes. And then Mechanism we're probably going to end up using for kind of the late game audibling or tripling or quadrupling or quintupling, because you can quintuple ores with Mechanism. And so, really just for diversity's sake, I'm going to use Industrial Craft here in the early game. Let me see, where is my pickaxe? I should really have all of my tools on me. Ooh, no, I brought my pickaxe. Okay, let me go ahead and grab another one here. Let's throw down our crafting station. I guess like right about there should do for now. I kind of like these torches. Like, I love the animation on them. It's new to the 1.10 version of Sphax, or at least it wasn't in the 1.7 version of Sphax. It might have been in 1.8 or 1.9, but I don't really like them. I like them for putting them down in the mines, and I like using them as a source of light when you're carrying them around. I think they look cool, but for a light source in a house, when you have like a few of them down, I really don't like the way they look. I'm not a fan of like the animations that are all over the screen right now. And also, I don't know if you can quite see that. At the top, there's like a weird white flickering on the roof. I don't know if you can quite see it there. It's quite subtle, but it's really annoying. I'm not quite sure what's causing that. I might have to look into it. But anyway, we're going to work on Industrial Craft 2. But to do that, we're first going to have to grab all the stuff from over here. And in order to get started... Oh, this guy just needs to die already. We should really have grabbed our sword. And I think I just stood on some poison ivy or something. Yeah, we need to go around and Oh my goodness, he's going to kill me. We need to go around and make, like, this area a safer place to walk around in, because there's so much stuff as you walk around, kind of just around this house and around the new house, that will start to try and kill you. There were those little plants on the floor that we just walked over. There were beehives all over the place that try and kill you all the time. There's all kinds of stuff that we need to get rid of. So let me go ahead and eat this steak. Let's try and not get hit by this guy. Thank you very much. Let's go. Oh, my goodness. This guy is so powerful. Jeez, see what I mean? No, we're getting poisoned just walking back towards our house here. Flipping heck. Okay, let's grab a sword here real quick. Let's see if we can beat this guy. We should probably also invest in a little bit of armor. Before we go and fight this guy, though, let me see about this. If I put, like, a hole in the roof there, can I do this? Can I put the furnace down there with the solar panel there? Does that work? It says it's generating 8 hour fatigue, so it looks like that works. I'm going to start smelting up a little bit of copper, because we've already got a fairly decent amount of iron. We've got 17, which is okay for now, but we're definitely going to need quite a bit of copper if we want to get involved in Industrial Craft 2 in any way, shape, or form. So we'll get that going over there. It doesn't seem to be working. That's because I haven't put the furnace upgrade back in. Where did I put the furnace upgrade? Okay, so I have no idea where the furnace upgrade went. It might still be over in the other house over there, but I've just made another one real quick, and they're not all too expensive. I'll put that in there. That should start to smelt that. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, let's see if we can fight this guy real quick. Can we have this guy dead? We totally can, but you can't spam click with the new system. It does have a nice swipe animation. Oh, what the heck? Okay, geez. I did turn keep inventory on since the end of last episode, so we do have that now. So if we die, we don't lose all of our stuff. Did I just die over there? I did. We spawned quite far away, 157 meters away from where I built my house, which I didn't think it was that far away, but let me head back real quick. Let's see about killing this guy and getting the rest of our stuff together. Okay, so I have no idea where that skeleton went. Hopefully it died somehow, or maybe it despawned because we respawned it too far away. But let me get rid of these. Jeez, let's start with some industrial craft too. So the first machine that I want to make in today's episode is probably the Extractor, because the Extractor allows us to get a larger amount of rubber than we normally would have. And the reason why we need a large amount of rubber is because almost everything in Industrial Craft 2, at least all of the early game stuff, requires one of these electronic circuits, and to get those, we need 6 insulated copper cable, each of which requires 1 rubber and 1 copper cable. And if I show you the recipe for the Industrial Craft rubber, you can either smelt sticky resin, or you can put, you can smelt sticky resin in an alloy smelter or anything like that. But if you put sticky resin or rubber wood into an extractor, you get more rubber. So you can get 3 rubber from 1 sticky resin as opposed to 1 from smelting it, and then you can actually get rubber from the rubber wood, which you can't do by smelting rubber wood. That's not a thing. Like if I push U to show the uses for rubber wood, you can use it as fuel. You could smelt it into jungle wood, I guess is a thing, but you can't smelt it into actual rubber. The only way you can get rubber out of it is through an extractor. And so again, if we look at the recipe over here for the Extractor from Industrial Craft 2, it requires 4 tree taps, 1 basic machine casing, which is 8 iron plates, as well as 1 of those electronic circuits, which is 6 insulated copper cable, another iron plate, and 2 redstone. So we'll start with the tree taps because they are probably the easiest thing in that recipe to make. They're super simple. It's just 5 wood in kind of like an R shape with this little top bit here like this. We're going to grab 5 of these. The reason we're going to grab 5, we need 4 of them to make the extractor, and the other one can be used to extract sticky resin from rubber trees. So if we head on over in this direction, I did scout out a rubber tree before the episode started. You can find rubber trees fairly easily by the little like 2 high leaves that they have on top. So you can see that tree there. I don't know if you can quite see it, but that tree over there has like 2 leaves popping out from the top, and that means that it is an Industrial Craft 2 rubber tree. So you can see right about here, it's got like a slightly different color of leaf, but this is it. This is the Industrial Craft 2 rubber tree leaves, and then if we go down a little bit, here is the wood, and it should probably, on one side, have some sticky resin. We could break the wood, and we'd have a chance of getting the sticky resin, but if we go ahead and right-click with the tree tap, kaboom! We get ourselves the actual sticky resin. I have no idea where that just went. It's probably like on top of the tree or something ridiculous. And I also do realize that we just dropped that super crafting frame on the floor. Where did that go? I have no idea where that went, but I'm hoping that when we chop this tree down, we will find it. There might be more sticky resin on it, so it's usually a good idea to break away all the rest of the leaves around the tree. Although it doesn't look like this one's got any more sticky resin on it, which is a bit of a shame. But we'll go ahead, we'll break all of that. Once we got rid of that, the leaves should start to decay fairly quickly. And I'm hoping we'll find that sticky resin that we were supposed to get just then, because I would very much like to have that so that we can extract it for all of its rubber. We should also see if we can get ourselves a rubber sapling, because getting one of those rubber tree saplings is of course going to allow us to plant more rubber trees and get a nice source of infinite rubber going. Is it up here? Yeah, here they are. Okay, so there we go. We got 3 sticky resin. We can turn that into 9 rubber. We also got 5 rubber wood, which we can turn... Oh, I thought that was a zombie then. We also got 5 rubber wood, which we can turn into an extra 5 rubber. And we got ourselves some rubber tree saplings, which we could of course plant to grab some more rubber if we so needed. And if we really wanted to, we could try and head around and find a couple more rubber trees. We don't seem to have a whole lot of them around here from what I can see. I tried to get a bit of a vantage point before the episode started to see if I could find any nearby, but I couldn't find any but this one. I'm sure if I did a little bit more looking around, I'd probably find one. But for now, let's head on back over to the base. Let's see about getting that extractor up and running so we can start working on getting the ore doubling system in place. Now, the next thing that we need to get in place in order to make the extractor is a lot of iron plates. We need, I think, we need like, what, 12 iron plates in order to make this work? We need 8 for the basic machine frame, and then then we need one more. So we just need 9 in order to get the extractor. And iron plates are made fairly easily with the forge hammer and 1 piece of iron. The forge hammer is 5 iron and 2 sticks. So let's go ahead and grab 5 iron. Let's head on over to the crafting station and let's do something like this. Now, Industrial Craft 2 has quite a bit of this. There is also another tool that is used for making the copper cable here, and that is these cutters from Industrial Craft 2. These are made with 3 iron plates and 2 iron ingots, and to save us some time, I'm actually going to use our super crafting frames to kind of automate this process a little bit. So we'll put these ones back down. We will, however, go ahead and craft up a couple more of these. So let's grab some of the oak wood out of here. Let's craft that up into some crafting tables. I want to get quite a few of these up and running. We'll go with 7 because that's going to allow us to make 2 more quad super crafting frames. We'll stick those in the middle and we'll surround them with sticks. So let's go ahead and grab a few more of those. 48 is a little bit shy. We should need 56 in order to get this to work. So let's go ahead and grab that and that like so. Let's put those around the crafting table. That's going to get us 7 more of those. I don't know if we can craft this one. We can. I don't know if that one retains its recipe. It does say recipe chest. Actually, yeah, it does. That one also has a recipe for a chest. We'll then go ahead and do this again like so. That gets us 2 more of those, and then we'll go boom and boom. And now we'll use this middle one for the time being because it's empty. We can come in here if we grab some iron real quick, and let's also just for fun grab some of this copper as well. Whilst we're waiting on that, let's go ahead and throw in some tin ore because we are going to need some tin in today's episode as well. We don't need this death info, so we'll throw that back in there. So now, if we shift left click on the super crafting frame, we will teach the first one how to make these iron plates like so. Thankfully, it doesn't rely on the forge hammer having full durability. So even now, if I was to right click on this, it uses the forge hammer even when it starts to lose its durability, and it will continue to use it all the way up until the forge hammer is broken, at which point we could just make a new one. Fairly simple stuff. Let's go ahead and actually let's grab 3 more of those. 1, 2, 3, because we're going to use the excess 3 there to make the cutters that are required to make the copper cable. So let's go ahead and do something like that. We are missing some iron, so I guess we should probably go ahead and smelt some of that up. What I'm gonna do here is put down another furnace right about there, mostly for symmetry's sake, but also because I don't want to stop this one working on the tin. So let's go ahead and throw that in there. That one we are gonna have to give a little bit of power to, but that's fine. We'll throw that in like so. That's gonna get us hopefully those 2 iron ingots that we need. Whilst we're waiting for those, let's go ahead and craft up that basic machine frame. This is kind of the core of all of the industrial craft machines. They all need that basic machine frame in order to be crafted. And then as for the electronic chipset, we have pretty much everything else. We are going to have to smelt up some of this rubber, and kind of annoyingly, we're going to have to smelt up one of our sticky resin. So we can put those 5 in there. That's going to smelt up to give us 5 rubber, and then we're going to have to put 1 more sticky resin in to get the 6th one, which is a little bit of a waste, but I guess is fine. Let's go ahead and plant these down outside, and then we should probably get to sleep before the mobs start spawning around us. One of the really cool things about those rubber trees, though, is that if you use the tree tap on the sticky resin and pop it off, the sticky resin will actually grow back over time. So what you can do is set up a bunch of rubber trees from Industrial Craft 2, shear all of the leaves off them, and then just keep going back to them and keep tapping the same piece of sticky resin, and you will get essentially unlimited rubber if you just keep going back over and over again. It's pretty cool, and we'll probably do that at some point in the future. That is not what I want to do because I told you guys that that is not how this works. You don't smelt rubber wood into rubber. I said this, and then I made the very same mistake that I just said. You need an extractor in order to do that, so that doesn't work. So what I'm going to have to do, guys, I'm going to go away. I'm going to try and find some more rubber trees so we can try and get a little bit more rubber so we can make our first circuit for the extractor. After that, we can probably start to use some rubber wood to get the rest of the rubber that we need. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to smelt up some more stuff, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so a little while later, I've got quite a bit more sticky resin. We now have enough rubber to make our first electronic circuit for the extractor. Now, I did have a couple of issues again with the mod pack, and this time it was with the Optifine mod, which doesn't come with Feed the Beast Infinity by default, but that I added kind of separately. For some reason, that was causing some glitches when I right-clicked on stuff, and again, caused the mod pack to crash, which is just fantastic. So, now we don't have Optifine, but all it really changed was the connected textures, everything everything else is pretty much the same. So, now if we come on over to our crafting station, we should have pretty much everything that we need in order to make the extractor. So, we've already got the basic machine casing, we've got the tree taps, the electronic circuit requires these 6 insulated copper cables. So, let's go ahead, and where did I start cooking the iron? In here. Let's take the iron, and if we put 2 ingots at the bottom, and then 3 plates like maybe this. That's going to get us the cutters, and then just like we did with the iron plates, I'm going to come over to our quad super crafting frame, and we're going to teach one of these how to make the copper plates in the exact same way that we made the iron plates, and then we're also going to teach one of them how to turn those copper plates, if we actually go ahead and quickly make one, into actual copper cables, like so. And then finally, we might as well go over to the last panel and teach the final one over here, how to turn those copper cables into insulated copper cables. And now that we've done that, we should be able to go ahead and grab, I think, just 1 more of those, which should take us up to 5 of the uninsulated versions. It doesn't, it takes up to 4. So let's go for 6, and then let's go ahead and grab a bunch of those. It says we're missing rubber. I did take the rubber out of there. Did that just take my stuff? I think that might have just taken all of my rubber. Okay, so in that case then, apparently, this does not work with the rubber for some reason. That's weird. Let me quickly craft up, let me quickly smelt up, I guess, 6 more of that sticky resin, and then try and make these by hand. You know what, I guess we can probably use the other recipes. It just looks like for some reason it doesn't like the rubber, so I guess we're not going to use it for rubber. Let me go ahead and get rid of that recipe there. Instead, I'll just wait until this is done. And once it is done, we can take that out. We can craft it by hand this time, so as not to lose all of our rubber. Let's just throw 7 of those in there. Ooh, I didn't know that that was a thing. I didn't know that the crafting station could actually access the furnace next to the crafting station. That's new. Can actually... Oh, we can even put stuff into the top slot as well. That is pretty cool. I like that a lot. But let's go ahead and throw the rubber in. That's going to get us the insulated copper cables. Let's grab some of our redstone. We only really need 2 for the time being. And then we can use all that stuff to get us the electronic circuit. Not quite sure why he decided to put the uninsulated version in. And then if we just add all of the tree taps and the basic machine frame, that is going to get us our extractor. Which I guess for the time being, I will put down... maybe right about, let's put it down right about there. We're going to get rid of that torch. We're going to put it back down like that. We're going to put it here. So, we don't have any kind of Industrial Craft 2 power generation. And Industrial Craft 2 uses its own kind of power generation and its own unit of power, which is known as EU. Now, that's not really too big of an issue. I say that. I have not played with Industrial Craft 2 in 1.10, but I'm assuming that it works exactly the same as it has in all previous versions of Minecraft, in that I can put redstone into the bottom slot here and use redstone as a source of power until we have an actual source of Industrial Craft 2 EU power up and running, which we're going to do right about now because I don't really want to waste all that much redstone on powering that extractor. So we're going to go ahead and make a very basic generator from Industrial Craft 2. This thing is super simple to make. It is just a furnace, 1 machine casing, and then 1 RE battery, which is an insulated tin cable made in the exact same way as the insulated copper cable, 2 redstone, and then 4 tin item casing, which is a tin plate put through it with the forge hammer again. So if we come on through to the crafting station, we can go ahead and grab 2 tin plates. That's going to get us the 4 tin casing. We can then go ahead and make 1 more tin plate, which we can turn into tin cable, which we can then insulate with the rubber that we're getting from this extractor, which is a lot more than we were getting from just smelting it in the furnace. Once we've got that, we can fairly easily go ahead and make ourselves the RE battery. And then once we've got that, we're pretty much all the way there. We just need to make ourselves another one of those machine frames, which is fairly easy to do. Just a little bit of iron like so. And then with that, we are pretty much good to go. We do need 8 cobblestone in order to make ourselves 1 more furnace. But once we've got that, we can take all those items, shift click them in, and boom, we get ourselves the generator. Not quite sure why you put rubber in there either. It seems like the shift click might not be as stable as it once was. But for now, we will go ahead and I guess put this down right about there. So the way the generator works is it just turns fuel into power from industrial craft. So if we were to come over and grab a little bit of coal, we'll just take a stack and throw that into there. Also, let's sleep real quick because there are monsters all over the place outside. So now this is actually producing power. As far as I know, it still produces 10 EU per tick, which is more than enough to run the next machine that we are going to make, which is the macerator. Now, this is the machine that's actually going to help us with our ore doubling situation, because it's going to allow us to turn any of our ores into 2 dusts, which we can then smelt in our new furnace, which is powered by this little solar panel on top. So in order to make this exact same process, we need another basic machine casing, another electronic circuit, 2 cobblestone, and 3 flint. I'm not quite sure. We've got 2 flint, which is not quite enough, so I might have to break down a little bit more gravel in a second here. But before we do that, let's go ahead and let's grab a few more of these copper cables. Let's go and craft those up into insulated copper cables. We are going to need 1 more if we want this to work. So let's do that, and craft that up like so. Once we've got that, again, we're pretty much good to go on the chipset front. Let's just go ahead and I guess grab 8 of these, and then a 9th one for the chipset. We'll put that in the middle. Redstone either side. We'll put the insulated copper cables all around like so. And then once we've done that, we can go ahead and grab 1 more of the basic machine casings, and then we're pretty much good to go. We can put cobblestone on either side, and all I need to do now is grab 1 more flint. So what I'm going to do here real quick, I'm going to grab some gravel, I'm going to put it all down, I'm going to pick it all back up, and I'm going to hope that we can get at least 1 more flint out of this 36 gravel. And we got 2. Nice. So let's go ahead and grab 1 more flint. Let's put all of those in here like so. That's going to get us the macerator, which we can now go ahead and place down right about here. So again, this is going to pull power from the generator. Any machine adjacent to the generator can use its power. You can also transfer power with these insulated copper cables. You can see that we can transfer up to 128 EU per tick using these cables. Now, I have been told that in the 1.10 version of Industrial Craft 2, exploding machines and exploding cables are back in. So Industrial Craft 2 has 3 tiers of power. It has low voltage, medium voltage, and high voltage power. Right now, we're working with low voltage power and low voltage machines, so nothing should explode as far as I know. But as we go further on, we are going to have to be careful. If we start using some of the higher end cables or some of the higher end power generation systems, we have to make sure that we use transformers to lower the power's voltage, I guess, from high to medium or from medium to low, depending on which machines we're using. But that is a problem for another time. For now, we need to find a way to automate this macerator so that it automatically gets our ores, puts them into the furnace, and then takes them out of the furnace and puts them into some kind of chest, so we can kind of have an automated system where we put ores into one chest, and then in another chest, there are all of the finished products. So, what we're going to do, first things first, we are going to have to smelt up a little bit more iron, but now that we've got our macerator, we might as well go ahead and throw it directly into there. It's not the fastest thing in the world. We can make what are known as overclockers for Industrial Craft 2, which essentially just increase the speed of any given machine. As you can see on the left there, it decreases power time by 70%, but increases the power to 160%. So it increases the speed, but it also increases the amount of power that that machine requires in order to run. So you can see here, we're turning iron ore into this crushed iron ore, which we can then throw into our solar-powered furnace. That's going to go ahead and get some iron ingots. Once we've got those iron ingots, we're going to use those to make ourselves our first hopper, which we're going to put directly on top of our macerator and use to feed all of our ores into the macerator 1 by 1. So I've made 2 chests. One of those chests is going to be for the hopper here once this final piece of iron is ready. So if we stick the chest in the middle and then do something like that, that's going to get us the hopper. We can go ahead and put that hopper right about there and then stick another chest on top like so. And now if we put our iron ore into the chest, it goes straight on down through into the macerator. And now all we need to do is get that ore out of the macerator and into the furnace. And we can do that with the eject upgrade from Industrial Craft 2. This is made with 14 plates and 1 piston, and the ejector upgrade essentially allows you to select a side of a machine. So I can right click on this side of the macerator, and then if I put that upgrade into the macerator, it will automatically eject any output it will have, that's anything in this slot here, into any inventory on this side of the macerator, in this case the furnace. So let's come on back over here, let's craft up 4 of these tin plates. 1, 2, 3, 4. We should, I think, have everything we we need, apart from, I guess, a little bit of cobblestone in order to make ourselves a piston. And then once we've done that, we can make the auto-eject upgrade. And now all we got to do is come on back over to our machine. We do have to break our furnace here, but once we got rid of that, we can shift right click on this side, automatic output to the west side, and now if we put this in like so, and we put our furnace down right about here, that should go ahead and pump that stuff into there. Now it's not, which is annoying me a little bit, but I think the reason for that is that the Minecraft furnace doesn't input from the left-hand side, which is really annoying. It's going to have to input from the top. I was really hoping that that would work, but I guess, actually, what we could do, I want to try something here. So, there is an iron furnace from Industrial Craft 2. If I type in iron furnace, this one over here is the iron furnace from Industrial Craft 2. And it runs off of fuel like a normal furnace would. And so I'm wondering if I can use the solar panel from the Solar Flux Reborn mod to make that work. And also, I'm wondering if I've lost my, I think I have. I think whenever I break that, I lose the furnace upgrade unless I take the furnace upgrade out before I break the solar panel. That's a little bit annoying, something we have to keep in mind, but I want to see if this iron furnace thing will work. Whilst we wait for the iron to smelt up, let's go ahead and make another one of these furnace upgrades. So I have what it takes. We need another one of these mirrors, which is 3 glass and an iron. I do, thankfully, have 3 glass and an iron. So let's go ahead and craft up one more of those. We're going to take that mirror and turn it into a basic upgrade, a blank upgrade, and then we can go ahead and turn that into a furnace upgrade with some coal and a furnace. Let's grab that iron. Let's turn that iron into plates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe is all we need. And then the iron furnace looks something like that. So, let me quickly grab a little bit more cobblestone, enough to make ourselves one regular Minecraft furnace, like so. And now, if this works, that will be pretty nice, because I think that the iron furnace will accept from the left side. It will. Now, the only question is, does this work with the iron furnace? It does not. That is really annoying. I was really hoping that would work. Okay, so let's get rid of this. That's a shame. Instead, I guess what we're going to have to do is make another regular furnace, like so, and then probably use the transfer node from Extra Utilities 2 that we made last episode. And let's remember to take this out this time before we break it. And then once we've broken it, let's move it on over to here. Let's throw the upgrade back in. And let's get rid of the roof block here so we can actually get some sunlight. And while we're at it, we might as well go ahead and replace this here. Otherwise, I'll never get around to doing it. And so now we should be able to do something like this. I'll put that there. I'm also going to need to grab one more pipe. I might be able to take out the auto-eject upgrade at this point. If I do that, I think that should work out just fine. So let me try this with some more iron ore. I'll take iron, we'll put it in here. That iron is going to get broken down into 2 crushed iron ore. And once it's done, it does get pulled out into here. And now the problem becomes, I don't know why I put that solar panel back on top, because now we have to pipe that round and into the top. So what I'm going to have to do here is a little bit janky. Oh, I'm going to have to put this like here. I'm going to have to put the furnace upgrade back in like so. Get rid of the roof block directly above it there, which causes a bit of an issue because now, when I want to get stuff out of the furnace, I've got to pull from the right-hand side, which is now up against the wall. So I might, at some point, try and move this all back to the left a little bit. But for the time being, if we do something like that, we don't want that to connect up to there, because otherwise that's going to pump back in like that. So let me see about fixing that real quick. Okay, so speaking of janky setups, I think we're going to have to do something like this in order for that to work. That should now, if any ore gets put into there, pump it all the way around into the furnace, which should then, in theory, get automatically smelted. And now all we have to do is probably break this piece of wood here. And if we were to, for example, grab one more of these and stick it down on this side of the furnace like that, again, we'll put down another pipe right about there, and then we'll stick a final chest on the end there. Let's go ahead and actually we'll use oak wood for the time being. We'll grab one more chest and we'll do something like this. Plunk that down right about there. That should now automatically put all of our finished ingots into that chest. It doesn't, because again, I think that the Minecraft furnaces work in a really weird way. If I'm not mistaken, and I say this now having already made the mistake, but I think that that might pull out from the bottom, which might actually work out for us. So let me see here. If I go underneath, and then let's break this with an axe, get rid of this, and get rid of this. If I put the transfer node on the bottom here, like so, does that pull it out? It does. What the heck? And now we're going to run that around. I cannot get out because I've trapped myself in water. Let's do something like that. And now we can pump this round under like that, and we can stick the chest down right about there in the exact same place as it was before. And now all of the stuff should be fully automated. This is not nearly as elegant as I planned for the beginning of today's episode. I planned on a system where the auto ejector puts stuff into the furnace, which has the solar panel on top of it, making it nice and compact. Instead, that has not been the case. I don't know, actually, whether or not this is blocking the sunlight of this. If it is, we do have a bit of an issue. We're going to have to kind of reorientate this whole setup. Let me sleep real quick and see if that does actually make a difference. I think it probably will, which is the annoying part. It makes 5 redstone flux per tick with this here, which as of right now doesn't seem to be enough to get this furnace running. It is going. Actually, yeah, there we go. It's going. Okay, so the light level is increasing. It looks like it might just be because it's first thing in the morning. This thing's kind of building up to full speed. Maybe it doesn't affect the light that it gets at all. Actually, if this gets back up to 8, that will be back to where it was at the beginning. And the system is working. It's not the nicest system in the world. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. But it's working. Eventually, I would like to replace this generator with a renewable source of power. I've been looking into the industrial craft solar panels. We do have the compact solar panels mod installed as well. So we can use those if we wish to power the macerator. And really any industrial craft machines that we'd like. But with that, guys, I'm going to end this episode of Feed the Beast Infinity there. But before we do that, actually, there is one more thing that I would like to show off. And one thing that I want to do in today's episode, and that is make another item from the super item frames mod. So if we come back over to JEI and we type in super, here we go. I want to make a super item frame, not a super crafting frame this time. And the super item frame made in a very similar way. It's made with a dropper and then surrounded with sticks. And basically what this does is it allows you to pull and put items into chests easily, which is going to come in really useful for storing stuff in our chests and accessing stuff that we need quickly. For example, we use a lot of iron, so being able to store and access iron would be very useful. So the way this works, we can put it on a chest like this, and for example, if we grab 1 iron here, which by the way you can do with the scroll wheel, scrolling up pulls it out and scrolling down puts it back in. I get a lot of questions about the hotkey there, but essentially if we right click on this here like that, that's going to store iron there. You can see it's put the iron into the chest, and now if I was to left click on that, it's going to pull out a stack of iron or however much iron is in that chest, and if I shift left click, it's going to pull out 1 iron. This is not particularly useful for this one chest, but eventually once we've got a bunch of ingots in this chest, what we can do is we can put a quad super crafting frame on the front like so, maybe with copper, iron, tin, and maybe something else, maybe silver or lead or something like that, or gold even, and we can just quickly pull out or quickly see what's in any of our chests. Like we can mark down the important items on the front of the chest. For example, this chest, I could have 1 for redstone, 1 for coal, or even just a quad one or a double one with redstone and coal, and then be easily able to pull that stuff out without having to go into the chest and then grabbing it and then putting it in my inventory and doing all that kind of stuff. So that is something I plan to do. This one could probably just be cobblestone, maybe with some wood as well. Just an easier way to pull out all of the stuff in any of our chests, and something that I'll probably be doing, at least for the early game, until we get a good sorting system or storage system up and running. But like I said, guys, for now, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, as always, be sure to hit like. It really does help out a lot. Leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys next time.